Lord Jamar is my man, but he played himself bad. What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapps to CLBMG. Gang, I appreciate you. Listen, man, Lord Jamar, I just saw Lord Jamar apologize for calling Kamala Harris a B-word, a.k.a. a bitch, right? For whatever random reason. He was talking on Art of Dialogue, and he called her a bitch for whatever. He's bugging out, right? Now, that's not why I'm here. I saw the apology. I saw him pull back and say, yo, I was out of pocket, right, basically. And that's whatever, right? I feel he should stand on it because I don't think he changed any single iota of his opinion. It just was a circumstance that he had to go through to keep the conversation moving because they wasn't going to let it go any further until he apologized to this woman. He was dead wrong. He knows it, but he does not feel that he really, and I'm just going to be honest, did anything wrong other than say one word. He hasn't changed his opinion about this woman, but that's not why I'm here, gang. At the risk of people calling my blackness into question, which I don't care about that because I know who I am and it is what it is. I don't understand why people would let a grown black man call another woman a bitch, but somehow still choose politically to condone it, right? And like I said, this is my man, but his explanation of why he did it after the fact, because there's a video that came out on his own channel. It's called Late Night Conversations. Lord Jamar responds to criticism over Kamala, a.k.a. the Artful Dodger, which is what he's taking to calling her in regards to him saying bitch and getting so much backlash. He's now refusing to call her anything controversial. So he's going to call her the Artful Dodger because she dodges the questions, right? So my issue is Lord Jamar. So I looked up Lord Jamar. This is my man. I've watched him in Oz. I've watched him since Brand Nubians. I had Brand Nubian CDs. I've seen Lord Jamar go at Eminem. I've seen Lord Jamar talk about the Holocaust and Black Lives Matter, which Black Lives Matter is a joke at this point to me as well. It never really, once it was co-opted, it became a joke. But at the same time, I feel like knowing who Lord Jamar is, we need to address this, right? I learned that Lord Jamar was born in 1968. That would make him 56. That would mean he went through the 70s just like me. He went through the 80s just like me. He went through the 90s, 2000s, and where we are today. And guys from that era, the 70s era, the free lunch, the welfare checks and government cheese, the gang fights at night, and just all kind of things that you had to go through to be young and black in the urban communities, we do have a certain mentality. I'm just going to be honest with you. And Lord Jamar has that old school urban hood black man mentality with a little bit of Southern wisdom thrown in there, because most of our people came up from down that area, and we got a lot of that common sense and intertwined with our being as well. And Lord Jamar comes from a different time, but he refuses to grow. And my problem is where Lord Jamar is, it's almost a Charleston White mentality where he refuses to grow. He refuses to change, and he still does things subconsciously against his own people, even though he claims to be on our side. So I'm going to start where he started with this new video, Late Night Conversation. Lord Jamar responds to criticism over Kamala, the Artful Dodger Harris, where the guy in the hoodie, whoever this guy is, who low-key sounds like a undercover right-wing Republican to some degree, he sounds like a Trump supporter, is asking Lord Jamar questions. I don't know if this is an impromptu interview or this guy goes around asking people questions. I don't know who he is. They never said his name that I can remember, right? But he starts off the interview by asking Lord Jamar, why do they keep bringing up he says father, but Lord Jamar corrects him. It's his grandfather or great-grandfather who is Guyanese, right? And Afro-Guyanese is what they're calling the term, right? From Ghana, which is off the coast of West Africa, and that would make Lord Jamar an African. So he asks Lord Jamar, why are you so vocal about Black American issues? And you're one of the main people who can say who is Black American and who is not Black American when your grandfather or father is Guyanese from Ghana. Lord Jamar goes on to say, I don't know why they keep bringing him up. That's years ago, and he was here in like the late 1800s, my family's been here since the 1920s. So if you add up all those years, somehow, some way, that makes me a full-on Black American as opposed to someone else who just got here. This is what I heard Lord Jamar say. You can go check it out for yourself. Lord Jamar is basically saying the time that his family was in America somehow disqualifies the Guyanese version of himself, in lack of a better word. So basically, he said, my grandfather, great-grandfather, was Guyanese, but me, I'm Black American somehow, some way. I don't know how that rubs off the Guyanese. You're Guyanese, gang. I'm just going to be honest. You're from Ghana, and your family's from Ghana, too. Right? I did my 23andMe. I am from West Africa, 82% West African. Right? Just going to be honest with you. I believe it said Nigeria. Right? Now, I know what he's trying to say, but it's nigga logic. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's nigga logic. What he's really trying to say is, I've been in the hood all these years, so I speak and talk like niggas do in the hood. That makes me Americanized. I know how we think here. I know how we shop for sneakers, and I know what we eat, and I know how we walk and talk, and I know what raps we like to say. And I know we get locked up, and I know it's hard out here in these streets. I know all that, so that makes me American. Makes me more American than you. If you're Guyanese or you're from Nigeria and you just got off the boat 10 years ago, you're not as Americanized as me. And we all know that's true. We know what he's trying to say. We know what he's trying to say. But in regards to Kamala Harris, that's not what he's saying. He's saying she ain't Black just off circumstance of who her family is, and that she was raised in, what was it? I think he said it was Michigan or somewhere. Then she moved to Canada somewhere, and then she didn't find her Blackness until she went to Howard, right? So he made it like she's not Black enough, but he somehow is. Let me just start there. Somehow Lord Jamar, whose family is Afro-Guyanese, right? And let me find out what her family is, because I honestly don't even freaking know. I know I keep hearing she ain't Black, right? And I hear you. I hear you. So let's find out together. So apparently Kamala Harris is Indian and Jamaican. Her parents are from India and Jamaica. So somehow Lord Jamar's parents and grandparents being from Ghana and her parents being from India and Jamaica are vastly different somehow. And somehow her Blackness is in question, but his is not. See, what the logic he's really trying to say to you is, I'm from the hood. I talk like I'm from the hood. I talk like dudes talk in urban communities. I talk how we get down, and she don't. Therefore, she ain't Black enough, and Obama ain't Black enough either. He says it in the video. Obama's from Hawaii. How is he getting his blackness? So blackness is now, according to Lord Jamar, what part of the country you were born or lived in. So let me just get this straight. If I'm born in Idaho, I'm not black enough. If I'm born on the outskirts of Pennsylvania, the outskirts of Maryland, if I'm born in upstate New York, if I'm born in Minnesota, the outskirts, not the urban parts. See, this is nigga logic. I'm just going to be honest. And at the risk of being, I'm going to surely get attacked in the comments if they even get this far in the video. But what I'm trying to tell you is this old school logic that Lord Jamar is trying to use is I'm more hood than her. I'm cooler than her. I'm more down than her. As he makes fun of people who went to HBCUs, as he made fun in the video of people who went to Howard. He's going to say, I didn't make fun of them. No, bro, you made a funny voice and you started to make jokes about people who go to HBCUs and find their blackness. It's just a fact. So somehow now you're making the people who weren't born in the inner city not black and the people who find their blackness at HBCUs kind of corny and not kind of black either. So somehow Lord Jamar has reduced blackness to how you walk and talk. And the sad part about it is I understand what he's trying to say because I have nigga logic just like he do. I know an African in the hood is different than a regular dude in the hood. We all understand that, right? But what's the African that got shot with the 40 shots and everybody was protesting in New York? They was calling them black. Am I bugging? Ain't that one of the people Lord Jamar was offended when they got murdered? Correct me when I'm wrong, gang. So how black you gotta be for Lord Jamar? Let me know. Because this argument is silly. If she get up there acting like Sexy Red or Glorilla, is she black enough? Are we going to do 23andMe's, Ancestry.coms on everybody that got dark skin to see where they came from? And are they black enough? And let's just go even further. Where are these black people supposed to be from to be black enough to be considered black? And even further than that, define black. And right after you define black, define white. See, these old school mentalities are why we aren't getting anywhere. You're so busy trying to define who's black enough, who's white, that we're not moving forward. A black man get up there and say he would rather vote for Donald Trump than this black woman. And I don't care that you don't like her. The simple fact of the matter is you're calling her the artful dodger like every politician since the beginning of the time hasn't dodged questions. I want to see this energy for Trump. I want to see this energy for all these other men out here. I ain't never seen Lord Jamar this worked up about politics in my entire life. Never. I ain't never seen him this verbally abusive about any politician except this woman. Not even one. It's an old school mentality, right? You're saying she can't run a 7-Eleven because she's an Indian. Is that why that reference came up? Because she's an Indian, so now she got to be running a 7-Eleven and she can't even do that. Gang, let me just be honest. Let me just be honest, bro. I need some black people that's smart. We can't all be rappers. We can't all be playing ball. We can't all be actors, gang. Some of us got to be smart. Some of us have got to be in college. Some of us have got to hold some positions of power. We can't all be in the hood like, what's up, blood? What's up, cuz? Because we black. Black is not one thing. It ain't one sound. It ain't one style. It's a whole lot of elegant black people out there that I'm sure Lord Jamar would say they corny and they ain't black enough. And this is why we not going nowhere. This is why we can't hold no position of power. Look how many people coming out against this woman. I'm just going to be honest. If you don't like her because you don't like her, that's fine. A lot of y'all don't really have no real reasons. I'm never going to tell you to vote for. I don't give a shit. But what I do care about is when you ask for power, but you don't know how to get it. You got to get one of us in there. Lord Jamar is trying to break this woman down and tell us to vote for Trump. It's insane to me. He literally said, I'm an independent, but I'm thinking about voting for Donald Trump. Really? And then he got this goofy dude in this sweatsuit talking about Donald Trump is not a racist. When he said about the Central Park 5, he sounded like a concerned citizen, not a racist dog. These dudes are the absolute worst. Because they sitting up here, they don't know much of nothing. They spitting cliches and Republican talking points as if they made them up their goddamn self. You're spitting racist talking points and you don't even know it. These people sit in rooms and come up with these quotes and you're sitting them and saying them on black platforms as if you made them up. They sit around in think tanks thinking about what they're going to say negatively about this woman and her race. And you run and repeat it as if you made it up. And this is my biggest issue. If you're going to say these things, stand on it. Don't apologize. Then come back with a video defiant. Still saying the same stuff you were saying, just took out the B word. You should have left the B word in there saying, fuck that bitch. But see, I got a problem when I see black men attacking women, period, let alone. Is she like this hood? No, she ain't no hood sister. Right? But let's be honest, most hood sisters ain't hood sisters no more. They really getting out here. They getting good jobs, they getting good money, they smartening up, they assimilated into the culture, into society. They're not acting like you want them to act, dog. I'm just gonna be honest. I know you want them in the hookah spots acting ratchet. I don't know what you expecting, but everybody not gonna be like that. And when they're not like that, then you come with this. This is nonsense, gang. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're on here telling them, you're telling these people, she's dodging the questions. Well, who? What politician don't do that? Give me more than that, gang. Give me more than that. For this much vitriol at this lady, that's what politicians do. If you don't want to see that, you need to get out of politic conversation altogether. For you to say you would be voting for Donald Trump over her, why? And you're telling me she alienated the black man. Why? How? Explain it. Did I want Kamala Harris? No. I'm going to be honest with you. But do I want us to have somebody in the door that we can start to assimilate some power? Yes. Yes. Any black man that don't see that we trying to assimilate some power is a fool. You stand up there beating on your chest talking about she ain't this, she can't run a 7-Eleven. Meanwhile, your alternative is to put who in there? The guy that want to defund the freaking, he want to make it so that these police can do anything they want? He want to defund the Department of Education? And I know all that black stuff. I ain't got enough time to dismantle the nonsense that Lord Jamar is going to talk in this fantasy land of blackness and what we should do and would do. We don't do it. So for you to start saying black people should do this and that, you're talking nonsense. We already got stuff in motion that we need to continue. He want to blow it all up and give it to Trump, who's trying to put us back in chains. But see, it's the 60s nigga logic, that 70s logic where we didn't think we were worth that much, right? And we definitely thought that the white man was better than us. I'm just going to be honest. So why would he have any respect for Kamala Harris when Trump is over here telling them that he's better? Lord Jamar, you're supposed to be the blackest thing walking, and you just sat here and told us you would vote for Trump. Dog, I'm out. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm just going to be honest, gang. You sound absolutely insane to me. Just going to be honest. Make it make sense. If you're the blackest thing smoking, why would you call this woman a bitch? Make it make sense. But see, I'm not going to keep asking people to make it make sense that don't have the mental capacity to challenge anything that we're really talking about. Progressive people are moving forward. Anybody talking about backwards thinking, like letting a man that is telling you he's going to let the police bust your head in with no repercussions, and you tell us to vote for that man, you're completely disqualified from the conversation. We're going to let the adults have the conversation going forward. So at this point, Lord Jamar really is not a factor in these grown-up conversations anymore. Just going to be honest. I don't think he's articulating himself well. I think he's leaving a lot of open space for critique. I don't think he's really paying attention to the politics that he claims that he's involved in. He doesn't know anything that he's talking about. And that's what I'm going to leave it. CLBMG, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really disappointed in Lord Jamar. I'm just going to be honest. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.